Hello, one and all. Jasper here, always joined with DJ Fella, and we're jumping into the fifth episode of this season, or should I say, the third episode, with House of the Dragon, Unbound and Unbent. Now, last time we were talking about the episodes and shows, you were able to convince me that the previous episode wasn't nearly as okay as I thought it was, and as going over it, my opinion on it decreased. This one, just going into it, my opinions on it were definitely less than that of the previous episode.
I definitely have some issues with this episode. There's some things I do like about it, mostly to do with Damon, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. This one's certainly a mixed bag.
I mean, I think objectively this one is worse because Allison has a bit more of a story and prominence in it, and anything
Yeah,
she's in just brings it down. I think she is
that's true.
I don't know if I've told you this or if I've hidden it very well, but I legitimately think she's the worst character to ever exist in this franchise so far.
That's a bold statement.
Like, no, I know there's some bad ones, and I know there's some stinkers in like season 8 and 7 of Game of Thrones, but no, I will take Euron. I will take the Sand Snakes. I will take so many characters over Alicent. I made a joke previously in a video talking about her where it's just like, okay, maybe she's not that bad. No, she is. I don't think anyone is as bad or infuriating as she is.
I she does piss me off. But there are some parts this episode, like in her scenes with what's her daughter's name?
Helena?
Or is that? Yeah, Helena. Uh, where I grew some appreciation for Helena. Although I'm not sure it necessarily makes a ton of sense the way she's been characterized so far,
No,
but we can talk about that when we get there.
oh yeah, definitely. But with that, we're of course starting in the Riverlands, where we have Peter Piper here speaking with Oscar and God, I'm drawing a drink on the old guy's name. I know it's like he's from House Dustin. Roderick, that's it, Roderick.
Who is Peter Piper?
He's the guy. He's the other guy.
Oh, well, yeah, but who is he though?
Well, he's Peter Piper of House Piper.
Okay,
You
fair
see,
enough.
you see, House Piper used to pick a pack of pickled peppers, and then they bought a castle.
That's capitalism right there. That's how you do it.
No, but no, it's just one of those funny named characters that's obviously a reference to other stuff. Like you have Oscar and his other Muppet brothers and family who sadly didn't make it into the show.
Do they say his name in this episode, or do you just how do you know that? How do you know who this guy is?
I mean, I think it's in the credits, but also there was really only like one prominent pipe. Well, there were two, and the one who died in the books is Peter.
Mm.
And I say prominent in that they had their names. But anyways, that's getting off topic. But we have them talking about how Kristen has been harassing them and whatnot for a while now. And it's only now that Roderick says, like, hey, send us out to go deal with him. And I thought you guys didn't consider that like the first time this happened.
Yeah, no, they've just been sitting on their ass. They're like, well, they burned down one bridge, so I guess we'll just slowly march to the next one and hope it's okay.
Ah, oh, shit, the second one's gone. But you know what they say, third time's the charm.
Yeah. Which I think the third, this was the third one, right? This episode's about the third one.
Possibly third, maybe the fourth.
I don't remember. I don't know how important it is.
Arguably, three is too damn many, though.
Well, fool me once, fool me twice, sort of thing, you know?
uh, Anyway, so it seems like they're finally going to take action to try and prevent Kristen from like fucking them over. But before that can really happen, Peter Piper is going off to his tent. He hears some scuffling along with his men, and then Kristen comes out of the shadows, slits his throat, and shanks him a few times.
Yeah, poor him.
Yeah, these camps are very lightly defended, apparently, if you're able to just sneak in and kill a lord like that.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently there's nobody keeping an eye out.
Yeah, and if it's that easy, I mean, I get Oscar and Roderick might be a little more defended, but like they were all in a single tent. You could have lit that shit on fire, try to get them all at once.
right? Yeah, it is. And I feel like this episode purposefully obscures how many people are supposed to be with Cole. Because, like, I was very unclear on that throughout the episode. Like, does he have, like, an army with him, or is it just him and, like, a band of dudes?
I mean, I think I know in the books he has like, a small army of I think about 2 to 3,000, somewhere around there. I think in the show though, it's just like a couple hundred guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the impression I was getting. So it does seem like in a situation like this, even with the getting the drop on them, they could rally their troops up and wipe Cole's group out pretty easily.
I mean, that's if Cole was to give them battle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The numbers are kind of crazy.
Well, it's just one of those things. Obviously, if it's a pitched battle, Cole doesn't have a chance. It's why in the show he's doing this guerrilla tactics.
Yeah, but like how far can you run into the woods? You know,
I mean, apparently pretty far.
apparently so.
Yeah. But after that, we're over in Harrenhal, where some dudes show up apparently looking for Aemon Targaryen because they're quite confident he's there to try and kill him. And Allison, I think that's her name, shows up and says, "Nah, he's not here. Fuck off."
You mean the chin,
Yeah, the Crimson Chin.
the crimson chin?
No, no, wait, no, no, because she's in black. So, oh yeah, there was the name of the evil Crimson Chin, the Nega Chin.
Is I feel like I have seen that meme.
So got to be careful with that one though. But yeah, so she shows up and pretty much scares them away with bats. And I mean, this whole scene is just kind of confirming, and later on as well. Yeah, so Aemond has been here this entire time apparently.
Dude, the nega chin is that's so funny. How'd they get away with this?
I mean, maybe it wasn't on purpose. Maybe it was just a coincidence and no one thought of it.
Yeah. All right, so what was nega chin? Yeah, she's magic. She's doing magic.
It scares them away with bats.
Yeah, that's magic, dude.
I mean, no, Batman uses bats, and that's not magic. That's like science, and bats are scary.
No, Batman's for sure magic, dude. I don't care what any of those comic book nerds try to tell me.
But anyways, using her bat magic scares them off, and we do see, yeah, Aemond has just been here this entire time.
Which makes sense to be fair. Like he did get stabbed in like the liver or kidney or something.
Yeah, just went through all that plate armor and stuff.
Well, obviously he wasn't armored there. Why would you put armor there?
Right, under all the vital organs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess that means that Kristen and Gawain didn't exactly look real hard as far as finding Aemond. Though to be fair, if they came across Vagar's nest or temporary nest and it was just gone, then you would assume that Aemond left with Vagar, not that Vagar decided to fly off and get some food.
But like they not take a break and like stay at Harrenhal for even like a day or anything like that? Like
I
they
mean,
just walked in, we're like, oh, he's not here. I guess we're heading out.
it would have been the logical thing to do. I mean, they were close to Harrenhal, presumably. But I guess, you're right. It would make sense to like, hey, let's set up camp for a day, then head out. To be fair, though, Harrenhal is a massive fortress, so it's actually believable that Aemond could be just in one of the tucked away bedrooms of this fortress. But if they did stay there for like a day, I guess it's believable that Vagar was away from Harrenhal for longer than just a day or two.
Well, yeah, it seems like he's been away from Harrenhal for a fucking pretty damn long time
Mm-hmm.
at this point.
I
Like a
mean,
few days.
If anything, it seems like it's still gone. So, I think initially when I watched this, I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? But thinking about it a bit more, it's not quite that offensive. But yeah, I mean, so far when it comes to these scenes, like, I don't have a whole lot to comment on, you know? It's like he has his nightmares and whatnot. And I think it was like in regards to his brother, we see a little bit of like guilt.
And he calls Negachin mommy.
I mean, we've already, established that he has some like really, really bad mommy issues.
Yeah, I'm glad they cut away after that because I was worried that they were going to linger on it and then he was going to like try to kiss her or something.
But over in King's Landing, we have Orwyle giving Alicent a little bit of the Plan B sippy sip of Westeros.
Hmm. And like the guards on Allison's chamber, they suck.
Well, I mean, Orwyle's like, well, I mean, granted, he was definitely serving on the Team Greens and whatnot, but he's like a member of the Black Council. Plus, they don't want to racially profile him.
That's fair. That's fair. Uh, Orwell would. I feel like there's a British cop joke you could try to make there, but it's it's too much for me to get off the top of my head. You know?
But anyways, so in this whole scene, like, there's a couple of things I have problems with. First off, presumably Helena's been pregnant for several weeks at this point. Because, like, for Alicent, I feel to notice that Helena's pregnant, like, we're talking like, late first trimester, early second trimester in that realm, like 10 to 14 weeks.
Yeah.
And so get the moon tea to induce, like, I'm assuming some sort of miscarriage. Like, I get it. If it's a boy, that's a problem. But I feel like having your daughter have a miscarriage is just needlessly risking her life. Like, just have the baby and flip the coin. If it's a boy, dead. If it's a girl, it gets to live.
Yeah. Well, so it. I guess if you don't consider murdering fetuses murder, then there might be some sort of better morality you could try to draw from aborting it, but it is the same thing, so you're right.
Well, I mean, even if we take it through that way, like it's not a living thing until it pops out of the pussy, it's still needlessly risky. Well, no, maybe not. Because now that I think about it, so, the whole conflict between Rhaenyra and Aegon is that Aegon is the rightful heir because he's the eldest male, whereas Rhaenyra is the special case because Viserys chose to name her as his heir and never changed his mind on that. So if Aegon has, even if it's a daughter, then it might be, then it technically it has a stronger claim if you believe that Aegon is the rightful king. But they don't seem to be portraying that in the same regard to Jaehaera, the daughter of Helena and Aegon. They seem to just be solely focusing it on the whole male aspect.
Yeah, which is it is weird to be like a daughter has no claim on the throne, even though a queen is sitting on the throne right now.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, they're not really going into it that much. In fact, I think they've removed. I mean, they might have some stuff later in the season. I doubt it, but it was hammered in, at least in the books, that Rhaenyra was a special case, and that her becoming queen does not mean that male primogeniture is changing. But
Yeah.
but I think, like, even the books, that was a little silly. Like, I don't think George wrote that to be like, like, not to justify it, but like, anyone in that situation seeing a woman come to power like that, it's obviously going to rock the boat in regards to inheritance.
Hmm.
Because if Rhaenyra, regardless of her being a special case, the idea is going to come up later about females inheriting over their younger brothers.
Yeah. Right. And And this is actually one scene where I gained some respect for Autism Girl.
Well, I mean, she's defending this child more than she defended the one who lost their head.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm saying like I don't know if she's been properly characterized for this scene. Um, I think that at this point, I guess the like good faith interpretation would be in that original scene, the intent wasn't to make her look uh, like she didn't care or whatever, but just I don't know. The the directors were trying to portray like autism grief, and they just did a horrible job of it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but she does actually care about her children. She's one of the only mothers that tries to actually prioritize her children in the show, from what we've seen.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I just don't care for the scene. Helena's acting out of character, which I like Helena out of character because she's, a more sympathetic, interesting person with motivations rather than just being retarded. But it's still out of character, so I have that issue with it.
Yeah,
And again, I this is also making me continue to despise Alicent as being the worst mother in history.
yeah. Allison's so horrible. She's such a horrible person. It's crazy.
Well, like I said, you're this late into like the pregnancy. Forcing a miscarriage like that is just needlessly, like, I'm assuming it like a mis and granted, I'm not a doctor, so maybe I'm wrong, but I would assume that a miscarriage like this might be more life-threatening than giving birth.
Well, yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I don't know what kind of magic goes into their Plan B sips in Westeros, but like, you have to take Plan B quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. There might be we've got some pill. I'm not too up to date on all the abortion tech we have. I don't know. I find a medieval abortion remedy that can work on like later into a pregnancy, not like late into a pregnancy, but I find the whole thing dubious.
Yeah. Well, this magic moon tea, I think that's what it's called. It's pretty much the morning after pill. You're supposed to take it pretty much right after sex and whatnot. There,
Okay, so it is like a Plan B.
yeah,
Yeah, that.
there is an instance in the books where a character was pregnant, I believe, for 2 weeks at the minimum. And they told their father. It was actually Lysa Arryn, the crazy bitch from the first season or the first series. She was
Yeah.
forced to drink an extra strong dose of moon tea. And this is just like presumably the first 2 weeks when she knew she was pregnant and told her father about it in hopes that maybe he would bring back the man she slept with, but he was too low born. Icky, icky. And it fucked her up. Like, it's like a strong indicator and one of the reasons like that how infertile she is. And the fact that I think she had several miscarriages after, and of the one kid that survived, very sickly and weak. And most people
Hmm.
don't think it's going to make it to adulthood. So,
Yeah.
so like this is like granted, technically this happens 150 years later. But still, I'm sure people have also done this before Allison. So it just seems really bad for her to want to do this now.
Yeah. Yeah. She's trying to murder a baby. She's trying to put her daughter's life at risk, and she's doing it all because uh, she wants to like run away and let the queen kill the rest of her kids. Like
Well, it's like,
it's crazy.
it's like, hey, let's put your life at risk and make sure this baby isn't born because if it's born, Rhaenyra might kill the baby. Like just
Yeah.
like morally it's not good, but also like just practically it's not good. There's
Yeah.
just
It's just stupid.
there's no way to defend it one way or the other.
Yeah.
Later on, we actually see, because let's get the fuck out of this scene. The Freys are annoyed at Rhaenyra for offering Harrenhal to whoever kills Aemond when apparently Jace, which I don't quite no, I do remember this actually. Jace promised Harrenhal to the Freys for letting the Winter Wolves go across their bridge. Personally, I don't know why the fuck so many people want Harrenhal. I get it's a big castle, but it's a ruined castle, and cursed as fuck. Like, I'm not a superstitious person, but no, I would never want that castle. Just give me a cottage.
Yeah, I especially in Game of Thrones where like magic does exist. To be like, I'll take the cursed castle ruins. I want to waste a bunch of money trying to repair those. That seems like a good use of my time and resources.
To defend the phrase slightly here, it wasn't as obvious about Harrenhal being cursed, because I think the Strongs in this case were only the second or third family to go extinct after being given Harrenhal.
Mm.
Oh, no, I'm wrong. The Strongs are like the fifth.
Wow.
So before the Strongs, who are still currently alive, you had four houses go extinct.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty cursed at that point.
So yeah, I don't know about that, but anyways, so she's upset about not getting the castle though when she's named onto the small council though, and she just pretty much like has a little chat with Lord of Anderley, who brings her up to date on all the courtroom drama that's happening.
Yeah, I wish we got some explanation for why she was being put on the council. Like, who who the fuck is she? Do
Well,
we care about her opinions?
well, you remember the name, the phrase, right, from the first.
Yeah, I know like I know she's a lady with all that stuff, but like why do we care about her opinion in particular for her to be on the council? There's a lot of lords and ladies that could be on the council.
Hmm. I mean, Freys are a pretty sizable, powerful house in the Riverlands. But yeah, in the books, she never served on the small council. She actually, I don't think she fought, but she traveled with her husband while the war was going on, and then he died, and so she started sleeping with some chick.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's not. But she's, I don't think, ever in King's Landing. So I don't know why she was brought in to serve on the small council, but I guess in a way it's like, hey, we can't give you Harrenhal, so here's a different reward. That's not as good, but at least it's something.
Okay. I guess it ties up some sort of thread there.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but with the council now going on, we realize that Bela and Adam are the ones who have been sent out to look for Aemond and Vagar and locate them.
Mm-hmm. Which actually, didn't we talk about that last episode? No, we were talking about how they should be fucking dealing with goddamn pirates.
Yeah, well, one of them, like Bela, can probably go deal with pirates. The main thing was like Damon and one of them, like send Damon and one of the dragons out to deal with Vagar. Though to be fair, they do make it obvious that these two are not being sent out to hunt Aemond and Vagar, but more so just
Yeah,
locate them. Because I'll be
right.
honest, these two will get fucked by Vagar.
Right. I mean, anyone would pretty much.
I mean, in the books, it's actually Damon on Caraxes with Nettles on Sheepstealer, and both of those dragons are bigger than Sea Smoke, which is Adam's dragon. So they would have a pretty decent chance of coming out on top. But Adam on Sea Smoke and Bela on whatever the fuck her dragon's name is, no, that's not going to go well for them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Um,
locate them, find them. But obviously, it's a little bit different here, as Damon wants to stick around in King's Landing to try and make sure the Gold Cloaks are happy.
which is such a funny 180 from him last episode. Last episode, Rainier was like, "We should make sure we've secured our King's Landing before we start worrying about other stuff." And Damon was like, "We should be taking Dorne right now, you dumb bitch." And then this episode, he's like, "What are you worrying about Vagar for? We need to be making sure that we have King's Landing under control."
Well, I guess things have kind of hyped up a little bit, but yeah, definitely
Yeah,
he's looking a lot more to the inner situations than outside.
yeah. Which aside from that contradiction, he's pretty right all episode, I think.
Hmm. I mean, definitely they because I mean, you can have everything outside your capital secure, But if you got like knives at your back in King's Landing, like you're not going to last very long.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a problem that can't be solved with dragons,
Hmm.
which is the worst problems for them.
Yeah, the
Like
Tard.
all the problems that can be solved with dragons, like no big deal. But this kind of thing, it can be an issue.
Hmm. Ah, but with that, Damon kind of leaves the little meeting. Rhaenyra follows after him, and they have a little back and forth. Rhaenyra saying, "You can't question and like undermine me in that position in front of everyone." And Damon's just like, "No, no, I'm following what you want. I'm doing what you want, but this is more important, so I got to focus on this, babe."
Right, and he's also basically saying like I might not be uh doing exactly what you tell me, but I'm doing what you should be telling me.
Yeah. So in regards to this, like, the small council season seen is fine enough, but I actually did kind of enjoy the back and forth that Rhaenyra and Daemon had here.
Yeah, same.
Uh, Before the scene ends, though, we get a bit of a notice that Joffrey is back in King's Landing now, the last strong bastard child she has. So presumably her other two children are still off in the Vale.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Hmm. And good old Rhaenyra not making time, like, go see your fucking child now. Come the fuck on.
Yeah, especially since like Damon walks off, so it's like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah, are you going to go
You
back
just
into the
finished?
meeting and decide what? You guys like made all the big decisions.
Yeah, go see your kid, you dumb bitch.
Uh, but now over to characters that I enjoy quite a bit more. We have Larry's and Aegon. And it's the kind of second scene with these two that's probably a bit better. But, it's just kind
Mhm.
of reminding us, I feel like that's what this scene is establishing. Though Aegon is talking about, like, let's go kill my brother.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it's just establishing that they've run. I don't know if "run's" quite the right word. They've waddled away from the place they were staying because Aegon wants to go to Harrenhal now. I guess.
Or at the very least, they're kind of like traveling back and forth and just talking about what plans they should take place.
Mm-hmm.
Which I gotta say, like, I understand why Aegon is pissed at Aemon. It is very delusional to think that he can kill Aemon, though.
He does say, or die in the process.
Okay, fair
So,
enough.
that's fairly realistic.
But yay, we're back over with Alicent and oh,
Great.
my two favorite characters, Alicent and Missaria.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the good old mistress of whispers, and Allison to apparently make sure that Missaria doesn't figure out that Helena is pregnant, knocks out that Plan B, which I gotta say probably not the healthiest thing to do. Like I think it's unhealthy to do in general, but probably more so if you're not pregnant.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that works, like what effect that has if you're not pregnant, but it's yeah, I would say safe to say it's probably not healthy.
Who knows? Maybe it's like taking an ibuprofen when you don't have a headache. Maybe it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, except for headaches. Wait, hold on, let me think. How does this metaphor work? I don't think this metaphor works at all. Because nothing involved in it has to do with like violently shitting out bloody masses.
I mean, you're right. My point was more so going like taking a medication that's supposed to fix a cause that you don't have.
Right, right, right. And I'm saying that the symptoms of a headache are fundamentally different from the symptoms of being pregnant.
Maybe there's some truth to it. Okay, it's kind of like applying lotion to skin that's not dry.
Oh yeah, it's exactly like that.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, but thanks for calling me out in the first example.
Right.
But yeah, there's like nothing to talk about, but like it's just showing Missaria is keeping a close eye on what they're doing and whatnot, and so they have to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. It is actually kind of based that Massaria. Like Allison tries to be like, but we're both women. You understand how it is being women. And Masaria is like, I don't give a fuck.
Uh,
I'll
and
say it.
so with that, there's an alarm going off that I can hear. You want to take care of that real fast?
Oh, that is my roommates.
Can you tell them to shut the fuck up? Do I want to like stop recording and then? No, it won't take that long. You guys are fine with just kind of waiting with me here, talking to myself about how much I fucking hate Alicent. God, this stupid bitch. You all agree with me, right? That Alicent, like, it would be better. Like, I don't know if I've said this on these videos, but Alicent, like, needs to die. She does. At this point, it's more shameful and offensive for her
Hey,
to
you
still
hold
be
up like a
alive.
turn off your alarm?
Well, he's only doing that now?
Elvira?
Alvera? Uh, you know what? After all that, I probably will do a bit of a timestamp, so roughly the 30-second mark.
I just turned off, you had an alarm going off. Oh shit, yeah, my bad. Just let you know. I'm back. Sorry
Okay,
about that.
no problem. Barely noticed it. All right, but anyways, yeah, Misaria's annoying. Alicent, hate her guts. Let's go to something much more nice, which Kristen and Gawain trudging through the Riverlands. Now, I mean, again, this scene isn't offensive to me, but I feel like there's not a whole lot to comment on, at least in the beginning parts here. But Gawain's all talking about, like, hey, you could come to Hightowers, you could come to Old Town and serve House Hightower as a knight there, which, no, no, he can't. Not in any stretch of the imagination. Because
Why not?
he's a member of the King's Guard. They serve for life. So there's only two options really. Either they win and he continues to serve on the King's Guard in King's Landing, or they lose, in which case Kristen dies. This is not really a war he can afford to lose and give up. His life is forfeit if the Greens don't win.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Best
Plus,
case
like,
scenario. Best case is they can send him to the wall.
mm, oh, what's this seems like a cheap way out.
Yeah, but I don't think the odds of him being sent to the wall are very likely. I think execution is far more likely.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But yeah, so he has a nice little back and forth. Aside from that, like, dumb justification, they have a little bit of back and forth. But it's revealed that apparently the winter wolves had passed through here and laid out cattle traps or crow's feet to fuck up
Hmm.
the army, which, I mean, it seems like most of their army is already on foot. So I don't know how much the cattle traps really interfered with their ability to travel. Like, oh, poor Kristen and Gawain have to walk around everywhere now. Or hell, they got horses in the back. They can just use those. Like,
Yeah,
were they forced to just abandon all their horses because of like some pointy traps?
yeah. It seems like you could just walk in front of the horse and like kick him out of the way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was
And I didn't really notice this, but at this point, they're all still wearing armor.
yes,
But I think for like the rest of the episode, they're just wearing like gambesons.
yeah, they get rid of that shit pretty quickly. I thought what was about to happen was an ambush, And then we would see like a bit of an action sequence between Kristen Cole's forces and the Winter Wolves.
Yeah.
But no, the Winter Wolves were able to figure out or figure out or assume what path they were most likely to take and lay traps for them, but didn't like lay an ambush to properly remove them from the equation.
Right. Because the Winter Wolves should outnumber them substantially, right?
I mean, a decent amount, because a couple thousand came down from the north.
Yeah.
Not just that, though. I mean, so they obviously did this to slow them down and whatnot, but the whole thing is Kristen Cole's army, if you can call it that, is substantially smaller than the Tullys or the Riverlands army. So even with this, like, slowing them down, it's going to, like, because then it shows off later in the episode that the Tullys, like, you know, make it over the bridge before they do.
Mm-hmm.
That seems unlikely because of how much smaller Kristen's army is. Like, even without the few horses they lost, which I don't think is going to be that big of a deal, and getting through the traps. And they were already presumably having a head start. So,
Yeah, but then we do get a scene later where they have to walk through bushes.
oh yeah, I mean, I guess when you're going through the rough, it slows you down a lot. In that case, just stick to the faster path. But, yeah. I mean, it's setting up pretty much this whole scene is that now they gotta rough it. Two horses got hurt.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah. It's
there's
like when your car breaks down.
it's like oh shit. Well, no, because we have like five more cars in the back we can use. But no, it's too late. We have to leave the cars here. There's no other
Yeah.
options for us.
And now we have to start like, oh, I guess do they start going through the bushes because they're like they know the our path? Also, how do the wolves get ahead of them? Oh well, it doesn't matter.
The wolves
None
know
of
the
it matters.
forest. They're the northern warriors. The northern warriors are the best in Westeros. No comparison.
Yeah, so they can just move fast. They just moved with the quick. A bunch of old men just moving quick.
Yeah, the whole defining trait of these guys is that they're old as fuck and want to die in battle, but they're super fast and buff.
Yeah,
And then we have like a little scene, and it's only a few seconds, but it's pretty much Allison taking off her necklace to pay off the maid or the serving girl to help sneak them out.
yeah.
And then Damon is walking around with, I'm drawing a blank on his name, which is a shame because I actually said his name in my most recent video.
Captain of the Gold
Yeah,
Cloaks, dude.
Captain of the Cloaks. Captain of the Gold Cloaks clan. Anyways, but
And they're walking. They picked a good time to go for a walk.
because they discovered two more bodies while he was describing how the last guys died in the exact same way.
Yeah, what a coincidence.
I mean, to be fair, I think this is like a coincidence in regards to storytelling rather than like changing anything dramatically.
No, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, get some nasty little shit right there. And then we see like, a little message being sent off that makes it to Ormond. And so I guess the reason why all this shit is happening is Ormond's doing a little bit of bribery and sabotage in King's Landing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Which one thing I do find a little bothersome this episode is how willing Damon is to walk around in the locations where gold cloaks are being brutally murdered, like by himself or with one other dude.
Yeah, I mean, by himself is probably a stretch, but like with the Gold Cloak and in broad daylight, I definitely can buy Damon being that confident in his ability.
Yeah,
So that's not too bad, but I do think in the last scene that's a bit ridiculous.
yeah. Although I guess we did get the scene where when he brought Rhaenyra into the throne room and like what was it? It was like two King's guards and a bunch of greens lined up in front of him and they're like, "It's over." He's like, "Only if I lose." So
And
so Damon might just think he's him.
he might just believe he's the greatest. I mean, to be fair, the show has consistently portrayed him as the greatest fighter of this age.
Yeah, it has.
Like not like I don't think anyone like I mean in the books it's supposed to obviously be Kristen, but I mean Damon beat Kristen in the first season. I mean Damon technically
Really?
lost, but Kristen like hit him from behind while he was showboating. It comes off like if Damon wasn't showboating, he could have just dismantled Kristen.
I forgot that scene.
Yeah. So I mean Damon's the greatest warrior in the show, period.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he might give like the greats in the original Game of Thrones because I don't remember Jaime Lannister or Barristan Selmy pulling off the same bullshit that he does.
Yeah, he does pull off some bullshit.
Mm-hmm. But and fun little fact, I didn't notice this myself, but someone pointed it out online. The guy who the little girl whispers to about what's happening, who then later sends the message to Ormond, we actually see him in the episode when Rhaenyra takes control because it's like a real quick scene, but we just see him as one of the men at arms takes off his helmet and kind of walks off. So presumably a lot of these insurgents are, the former green men at arms who are kind of in hiding in King's Landing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I this isn't. It's different in the books in that it's not like outright said that this is what's happening. But I'm actually like in regards to this being a change. I think it's actually like a good. It makes sense that these guys like even with Allison like telling them, "Oh, just give up." That a good chunk of them probably wouldn't have just walked up and like said, we're your prisoner now."
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. I like it.
though it, though I do wonder like couldn't they have like kind of looked and cleaned out the city a little bit better if there's like so many of these green, you know, not defectors, but like in I don't want to say terror
Insurgent?
insurgents. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. It's big city.
Yeah,
People can hide in big cities.
apparently a million people in that big ass city.
Do they say that?
In Game of Thrones in season 7 or 8, Jon Snow is told that there's a million. The population of King's Landing is a million.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's pretty big.
which by medieval European standards is kind of crazy, but I think there was like maybe one or two cities back then. I know one of them was Chinese, and but that's cheating. There's always a lot of Chinese.
Yeah, that Chinese definitely is different because I don't see people eating much rice in Game of Thrones, and rice is kind of what does that to a population.
But yeah, but I think there was like one that was like bordering on like Europe and Asia. I think it might have been Constantinople.
See, I feel like the best comparison would be something like London.
I mean,
And
to be fair, King's Landing is the capital of a continent.
yeah, I guess that's true. Even if even if it is all based on medieval England, Westeros is more like a lot bigger.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
Constantinople was 500,000 to a million during various Byzantine high points.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's plausible then.
Yeah, but like a lot
And
of the others are all Asian. Baghdad in Iraq, Hangzhou in China, Kifeng in China.
mhm. Huh. Interesting.
But getting off topic as usual, back to the show. We have a little bit of a back and forth with Ormond and Damon. And I kind of liked this scene until the end, which it kind of seems to be a pattern when it comes to Ormond stuff. But I liked it because it's delving a bit more kind of into the book lore and stuff. We get to hear about, more of Aegon's conquest and specifically a historical character, Mira, the Yellow Toad of Dorne.
Uh-huh. And I do really appreciate getting like uh some of the alternate perspective of like the Targaryens are still seen as alien invaders and that kind of stuff. That's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what's up with this chessboard?
So the game, presumably, I think it's like Servax or something like that. And there's no rules to it at all.
Uh, So it's just something to like do gay little chess scenes when they need it.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I don't know how you Sivas or something like that. I do not know how one would pronounce it.
Your guess is as good as mine.
but
Made up word anyways.
yeah, but yeah, it's pretty much Westeros's version of chess. Um, and so they're playing it
Because
while
that board looks dumb as hell.
yeah, it's like weird, like but yeah, but
Like why
since
are there pegs underneath like the big ones?
to
I don't
keep
know.
to keep them from falling over.
Yeah, and then like on the board there's like certain I guess the big ones can only move to very specific locations.
Yeah, it's some
Yeah.
sort of I mean, it might be Warhammer, pretty much,
Oh, that makes sense.
though with less dice rolling, apparently.
Less dice rolling, more strategic Warhammer.
Uh, but with that, I do like it going into the bit of the history. There was one thing that annoyed me more than it probably should have. It was when he said the words that she would not be unbound and unbent. Now, the family words for House Dorn, and like a speech she gives when the Targaryens are coming, that Dorn does not yield. House Martell will not be unbound, unbent, or unbroken. And so it's like, that's just one more word. Why didn't they have the last word of the house words?
Well, that would be a little too on the nose, don't you think?
It's already 2/3 on the nose.
Well, and I never really thought about this before, but what does unbroken mean?
You're not broken.
So it's like non-broken.
Well, yeah,
Unbroken is synonymous with like not broken.
yeah, it's a negative to broken, which means you're not broken. Because I mean, think
Is
of it. Would it be cool if House Martell was just like, oh, we're bound, broken, and bent?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess when I hear unbroken, I think of like it sounds to me like reversing the breakage. Like you were broken and then you became unbroken.
I don't think so. I think it's supposed to be in the case of like resisting being broken. Like for
All
example,
right.
like imagine if you took a prisoner of war and started torturing him for information, but he never gave you the information. I think it would be like a fair description would be to say that he's unbroken.
The dictionary agrees with you,
Of course it does. I'm right.
but I still think it's a funny word.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is overall kind of like a nice little scene. Ormond kind of reveals to Darren like, "Hey, we're going to make you king." And all that stuff. But the one thing I don't like is just Ormond having like these childish moments of rage.
Well, this one's weird because they make it seem like uh whoever the kid is like scared of how he's going to react to losing, but like uh clearly that was he wasn't doesn't have a problem with having lost.
Well, like he loses, and you definitely it's how it's shot, how the actor portrays it is he's pissed that he lost. Then Darren apologizes, and Ormond kind of flips out a bit more physically. Then walks over and says, "Never apologize for losing." But in both
Yeah,
cases, like it's just weird. Like it's like a weird
is
little tick.
yeah, I guess he has anger problems. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And then he shows him he has these coins minted, which seems weird. Seems like a weird choice to do, like while you're still trying to fight the war.
Uh, I mean, maybe he's just really confident.
I guess. Well, he does seem to think he has the gods on his side, and through God, all things are possible. So jot that down.
Of course, of course. But yeah, just it's one of those things where it's just like it's kind of weird. I want to like Ormond Hightower, but I feel like the show doesn't want me to like Ormond. But because of that, I kind of like him a bit more. But I'm not.
Yeah,
But I'm not blind to like these obviously bad things that they're putting on him.
yeah. You can't like him because he's a green. The show refuses to let you like him because he's a green,
Mm-hmm.
and so even though like his overall like from a macro image, he should be a like cool character, a cool guy. They have to get all myopic on it and be like, but he has anger issues and sometimes acts like a little toddler. And it's
Mm.
like, why are we doing this?
But with that, we're over here, and this is kind of almost a repeat. We're back in King's Landing, and this kind of feels like a repeat of the previous scene with Helena and Alicent, only worse in like every conceivable way.
Hmm.
Like, hey, Helena, my dearest daughter, let's abandon your kid.
Yep.
Like, Alicent, I know that you don't care for your children, but most people do.
Yeah, most people aren't that chill about abandoning their children
Most
to
people
be
are not.
raised by the enemy.
Yet most are not scumbags.
Yeah. Are there people that think Alicent is a good person? Like
I
online, we can read online discussions.
I mean, I think the most I've ever seen is like occasional posts of like, like someone saying like, they hate Alicent for, you know, being Team Green. And like that's the closest we got to defending her. I've never seen really anyone like actually defend Alicent. Most people can agree that like season 1 Alicent was pretty good until the very end, but I don't think anyone cares for how Alicent is currently.
Yeah. Do you think the writers realize how evil she is?
No, not at all.
Yeah, me neither.
I think they're very much delusional.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
But I mean, yeah, there's nothing else to say on this. Alicent's just a cunt.
Yeah, we've said it. We'll say it again, but not much to add.
Back in the Riverlands, though, we're with Adam and Bela, and how appropriate. How long should one wait before you hit on a widow?
Apparently a week. Is that how is that how long it's been? Apparently we can get right to it.
Yeah. Some like and I saw a post online apparently a woman got into an argument with her boyfriend. The boyfriend said like, "Oh, Adam's like definitely trying to tap that bitch." Whereas his girlfriend apparently said, "No, he's just trying to be a friend." And I definitely got more like, romantic feelings from this rather than just like, oh, platonic relationship.
Yeah, for sure. This is for sure them like setting up some sort of relationship in the future.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, but that's like the only thing this is really set up for. Though we get a little bit about how Bela, blames herself for kind of what happened to Jace, and she's right to do so. She is partially in the wrong for what she did.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say that
Like
she killed him, but if she was smart, he'd still be alive.
uh I wouldn't put too much blame on her. Like she was just, you know, like yeah, somebody should it never should have gotten to the point where Rhaenyra was locked up and Jace was running out. But at that point, at the point that Jace came up to her, going with him was the right thing to do.
We're back with Aemon though, having more night terrors and whatnot.
Yep. I love Harrenhal, dude.
It's great. It has the best scenes. The only problem is they stay around for way too fucking long.
Yeah, I like watching skinny white boys with long blonde hair freaking out
With mommy
in
issues.
Harrenhal with mommy issues freaking out in Harrenhal, dude.
Ah, jeez. But obviously this is kind of, we see him kind of speak about his relationship with his brother, and obviously it comes up later, but it's pretty much the exact opposite of how Aegon looks at as things.
What does he say about his relationship with Aegon? I don't remember.
I think it's along the lines of like, and I might let me I'm kind of going through it right now with the subtitles, but I think he kind of does the opposite of what Aegon does later and says that, Aegon was always the favorite and he had to have like all the pressure of proving himself.
Oh, I don't remember that at all. I must have gone blank when you would say that. I just remember him whining about Vagar running away.
That too. But he's also talking about like, he's nothing without Vagar, which like I mean, granted, Vagar's like, 90% of the reason why you're cool.
He he says that, but he still got off Vagar and ran into the castle by himself. So
Maybe you should have stuck with the bitch.
yeah, just stayed with Vagar. If you already know that you're nothing without him, her, I guess. Vagar, she.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a little bit of weird stuff when it comes to like the dragon genders. Some are called male, some are called female, but it is in the books it's kind of theorized that dragons can possibly be both male and female depending on the situations, like some other lizard animals in our own world.
Yeah,
So you could say that Vagar's like, a trans icon.
you could say that.
I don't
Should we
know
start,
if a lot
should
of
we start
people would
calling
agree with you.
Vagar? Should we start calling Vagar Gorluck the Destroyer?
Oh, come on. Vagar doesn't look that bad.
Oh, and then we're back with Damon. Wait, not Damon.
Aegon.
Uh, Aegon. God damn these names, dude. It's like a jumbled mess inside my brain.
All right, but hold on though. Sometimes the child that grieves her is the one a mother loves best. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't have much to say about Aemon's scene. Again, he's here. It's just kind
Yeah,
of reminding us.
yeah. He's just sad. He's sad right now. He's having nightmares because he's in a scary castle.
Hmm. But now this next scene with Aegon and Laris, however you pronounce it, I actually kind of enjoyed this scene.
Yeah, it feels a little bit overdue to me. Like we've been building to this for like since the start of the season.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of like fucking finally, but not in like a cathartic way. Like yes, but in more like a tapping my watch kind of way.
Felt like we should have got this quite a bit sooner. I don't know. I think it's timing. Like it could have come a bit sooner, but I don't think the timing is that bad.
Yeah,
But I mean, obviously, like a bit of a highlight, and I think it's kind of ironic to hear this from Larry's calling Aegon like a bad person. Because, I mean, let's not forget, you're the one who's responsible for your brother and father dying in a fire.
yeah, but at least he's not always whinging about it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be very hypocritical to cry about your brother and father if you were the ones who killed them. But there was a part of me that took it less like with him, like judging Aegon on a moral sense, and more so like, dude, you had every opportunity to be great, but you just didn't. You're a
Yeah, that is how I read it as well. And it is one of those things where you can be a pretty bad person, but if you're not like really annoying about it, it makes it a lot more tolerable.
Listen, I haven't really seen or experienced the bad things you've done, but my annoyance is real with you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
uh, After that, so yeah, I think this is probably the best scene in the episode, honestly.
Ooh, I don't know.
You don't? I mean, there might be one other scene, the very next one, but I think.
Yeah, I kind of like this next scene. In pairing this scene with the earlier scene where Damon was uh basically telling Rhaenyra, "I know what you want better than you know what you want."
Mhm.
Those two scenes together are pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's kind of in part. I guess I'm more forgiving of not forgiving, but I'm more susceptible to Aegon and Larry's scene because it's not contradicting to what I know is happening in the books. Whereas obviously, just on its basis, Damon being here is a bit different from the books and bugs me a little bit. So I think maybe I am being a little too harsh on this adaptation.
Yeah, I don't have any frame of reference for any of that. For me, it's like, yeah, Damon's here. Where else would he be?
Uh, I mean, look,
I obviously there's a few obvious answers to that question, but here doesn't seem like necessarily the worst place for him to be.
no, it's not. But yeah, grumble, grumble. Difference for the books. Grumble, grumble. Change is bad. Grumble, grumble.
Although I will say loudly speaking Valyrian in the Sept seems questionable.
I don't think so. I mean, this is just their way of like, making sure that if there's anyone listening to them, they don't understand what they're saying.
Right. Because I don't know. Because when Damon walks in, he's like, "Look at you praying," like all sarcastic, and she's like, "I have to show some deference," and this does not seem like showing much deference, which I think they kind of highlight in the scene, showing the way people are reacting to them having a loud Valerian conversation in the
Yes,
set.
I guess so. I took that more of like, them being loud is what kind of gets the looks rather than the fact they're speaking a different language that the Targaryens have been speaking for the longest time.
Right, but I think it might be playing a little bit on the Ormond perspective of like the people kind of see Valerian and the Targaryens as like outsiders, especially when it comes to their religion.
Hmm.
And so them doing something like this, like bringing that alienness into the sept especially might be seen as kind of disrespectful.
I mean, there is kind of like some credence to this because, like, something that kind of cropped up to my mind while we were talking about this is actually the English kings after William the Conqueror. Because William the Conqueror came from France, he spoke French, he took over, and from then on, pretty much the royalty spoke French. And it wasn't until, like, 300 years later or so, like in the 14th century, that the English crown was like, okay, fine, we'll learn English. So for a long
Hmm.
time, English was kind of the word of the commoner, and French the language of royalty.
Right. Which I assume is at least partially what inspires this. I mean, William the Conqueror is Aegon,
Eh,
or yeah, Aegon the Conqueror.
Smaller scale, not as many dragons.
Right, exactly. But that's like
Didn't
that's where
fuck his
George is
sisters, as
drawing
far as
from,
I'm aware,
allegedly.
allegedly. Half sisters, that might be a different story. But yeah, but as we've been talking and I've been watching this scene, I still don't know if I'm willing to put it above the Aegon and Larry scene because I didn't have to read that. I could just listen, but I have to read all
I
this Valerian.
I don't think I even like saying I have a favorite scene.
Like
Like
the
if my favorite scene is gonna be a scene that just like didn't bother me that much, I don't have a favorite scene.
fair enough.
Yes, they're whining to each other in Valerian. Is anything important said here?
I feel like there was something a little bit at the end. Damon speaking. They're back in English,
Yeah, she thinks that the gods are against her, basically.
which they are. They're heretics and they're fucking their siblings.
Yeah, they're ancestral heretics, so you would hope the gods would be against them.
Mm, talks about adultery songs, which, yeah, you were an adulterer, Rhaenyra.
Yeah. And she uses like the whole I thought you were cool to get him to do what she wants. You know, like the classic peer pressure where you like offer someone a joint and they go, nah. And you go, oh, I thought you were cool. And they go, okay,
Yeah.
I'll smoke a joint.
But with that, we're now with Kristen and Gawain as they bushwhack. And so it's actually commented on here that, yeah, they did just abandon their mounts.
Yeah. And all their armor.
Which, I mean, I guess I'm going to have to plead a little bit of ignorance, but I still don't buy them abandoning the mounts. Like, even if they're going through more harsh terrain. Like
Yeah, at least like keeping pack horses or something.
something along those lines. Like I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd
Because
have to.
none of them even have backpacks on. Like, who's carrying all the supplies for everyone?
And maybe there's some poor fucks in the back with all the heavy shit.
Yeah, just loaded up like a pack mule.
Just on all fours crawling, like, ah, fuck. Put a feeding bag
I
over
guess
him.
I guess the night dude does have like he has like a purse.
Oh, yeah.
I guess has his tent and everything he needs.
Just got some trail mix in there for this long hike.
Yeah.
Uh, but pretty much like Gawain is going up to him, like, hey, people are like, they're not liking this. We might face like desertion. Christian's like, mm hmm, time to keep going.
Yeah, carrying on.
Uh, but I guess, like, I mean, it's establishing they're going through shit, going through the bush to try and still beat the Tully forces to the bridge.
Yeah, and it's establishing that they're moving slow as hell, basically.
Hmm. But then we're back over to Rook's Rest, where Aegon pretty much tells Larry's fine. You can go by. Oh wait, are we there or am I?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
Uh
says just hire the fucking ship.
yeah. Okay. Good. 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 And who shows up? But Lord Tywin Lannister. Well, not shit. Not Tywin. Thailand. I think it's Thailand.
Thailand sounds right.
There's another Thailand. I think Thailand was like. Nope. It was
Well, yeah,
Thailand.
wasn't he a twin?
Yeah. So Tywin Lannister. I mean, I'm assuming this is Thailand because I don't know if Jason could get over the headache he got.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Thailand shows up, and I like Thailand in the books, so a part of me wants to be happy about this. But this is contrived as fuck, right?
I guess if he did survive somehow, then him being here isn't that out of the realm of possibility.
Well, like, so first off, he survives, and so
Right.
he then makes it to the shores of Westeros, and Rook's
Hmm.
Rest is not far from the shores of Westeros. I think it's like right on the shore. So yeah, but it just strikes me as very contrived for him to be here at the same time as Aegon and Larry's. And like, if he like, how long would he stick around here if he was here the entire time?
Yeah, that's true. There is no reason for him to stick around here. He should be trying to get back to King's Landing.
Well, maybe not King's Landing, because presumably he would have heard that Rhaenyra took it not long after.
Oh,
Shh.
right, 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 right.
Batman,
He should
quiet.
be.
Sorry, but yeah. So yeah, but I still don't think he would be here in Rook's Rest.
Yeah. Although, like, where the hell else is he gonna go? Like, this is where Cole's main army is, right?
I mean, he left a small garrison here or something along
This is
those
where
lines.
Cole's small garrison is, right? So where else is he gonna go?
I mean, he kind of later on, I would say, like trying to get the fuck to the Westerlands one way or another.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. He does actually suggest that himself.
Later on, though,
So
yeah, though. I mean, I'm not going to say like that's not a safe, like that's not an easy journey. He would have to go through the Riverlands, which is kind of in a
yeah,
fucky situation right now. But maybe he
yeah,
could
a
have
little bit.
taken a boat, but then he'd have to sail like all the way around the continents. But I don't know. It feels quite contrived for him to be here with Aegon and Larry's.
I feel like we just discussed that it's not that contrived. I feel like that conversation established for me, not that contrived.
So is his plan though just to like hang out here until the whole war's done?
Yeah, or until the king shows up, like he does.
Oh, thank God the king showed up then.
Yeah, thank God the king showed up. That's convenient.
I don't know.
Not contrived, but convenient.
Anyways, Alicent and Helena though are sneaking out as dressed up as maids, and so Alicent, we can agree, she just straight up lies to Helena, saying like, "Oh, don't worry, the kid is going to be there." But
And like it shows that Allison clearly doesn't understand Helena. That like Does she think she'll just keep lying to her over and over again, and she won't like have an autistic meltdown at some point?
Well, I'm picturing like once they get to the boat or whatever, Helene's gonna be like, "Oh, where's Jahara?" And Allison's like, "Oh, she got on a different ship. She's waiting for us in Essos." They make it to Essos. "Oh, where's Jahara?" "Oh, she's actually in one of the different free cities. We're heading over there right now." Just like
Yeah,
constantly forever holding that carrot.
yeah, just gaslight her into the end of the world.
But doesn't matter though, because Missaria is there waiting for them.
Hmm.
And like, is Missaria like Missaria's just there by herself, right?
Yeah, just beat the shit out of her.
Yeah, like there's no gold, there's no Kingsguard, there's no men at arms. No, beat the shit out of this twink.
They do show a guard outside as Masari is closing the door.
So maybe, well, I think that's the guard who like came back later or something, right?
Wow, man.
God, I'm already kind of like struggling to remember how the scene is, and I'm watching it as it's going. God, I hate how HBO, whenever I move the mouse to like change something, the entire screen just gets so dark.
Yeah, why do they do that? Why
I
do they dip the whole screen?
I don't know. It's so frustrating. Oh yeah. So yeah. So okay, they don't show the guy leaving, but the mate shows up, says he's gone, let's go. So maybe I don't know, maybe Massaria decided to play this little ploy, like give them poor Allison like some false hope that they're getting away, only be like, nah, bitch.
Yeah, I guess it does make it a little bit weird that she even I guess to establish guilt,
God.
like
I,
the maid was definitely going to go through with it at that point, so you know that you can't trust that maid anymore.
maybe. Uh but either way, I mean this is all it's so stupid that Allison's even trying to do this. This is not none of this shit happened in the books. They're just forcing all this because Allison's the main character. She needs to have scenes.
Yeah, the fact that we're even spending any time on Alicent anymore is kind of wild to me.
It's ridiculous. It's like, no, kill her, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, or just stop wasting so much screen time on her.
Just because a character you think is important doesn't mean you should just keep giving them scenes. But with this now, so there's like this hint of like, hey, Massaria, you should totally like not tell Rhaenyra about any of this. And like, am I the only one who feels like this whole thing is like weak and pathetic and makes no goddamn sense for Massaria to even be considering?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, good. Good, because it's just so stupid. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope she's gonna listen to it though, isn't she?
She probably is. Because,
Like, if she doesn't listen to it, then this whole scene was just dumb and kind of a waste of time. And if she does listen to it, then that's even dumber and
like, the scene is
makes
still a.
Mystaria's character even stupider.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Massaria was kind of playing both sides in the beginning because she helped Otto Hightower find Aegon in the first season. But, like, there's no. Like, nah, she should be entirely with Rhaenyra. Like, she should have no sympathy at all for the Greens. Otto Hightower, like, I think is the reason she had to flee King's Landing.
Yeah, yeah, there's no world where at this point, if the Greens come back into power, she has any like plausible deniability of like, I was trying to help you guys too.
Yeah, I did it by not telling Rhaenyra about the kid she was definitely going to find out about. Like,
Yeah. Man.
so fucking stupid. Again, we're with Cole and Gawain traveling through the forest. Doesn't mean anything. Life is shit.
Yeah, they're having a tough time. The
I
guy falls over and Cole's like, leave him.
Well, it wasn't Cole. It was generic bald soldier guy.
Generic bald soldier guy was like, leave him.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Gawain though. His mascara is really running.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't really look like he's built for this either.
Uh, but okay, now we needed this next scene though. These guys scaling the cliffs of Harrenhal. Why? I don't know. As far as I'm aware, there's no reason they can't just walk in normally.
Um,
Like the castle's abandoned. I think it's just the Negachin and Aemond who are hiding out in here.
Yeah, and literally everybody else has just kind of walked in normally.
See, I don't know why they're doing it, but I mean, the whole
These
thing.
guys actually weren't trying to do anything. They're just really enthusiastic free climbers, free soloers,
Why did we climb it? Because it's there.
because it's there.
All right. But no, I mean, the whole reason this scene exists is we need to make sure that we get our sexual assault quota.
Yeah,
Like, legitimately, I think only one episode of this season hasn't had sexual assault.
and that's my least favorite episode. I hate that episode.
Well, like, I think it was the one where it's like entirely focused on Rhaenyra. I think,
Yeah, they should have tried to rape Rhaenyra or something. Just give me something. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
I mean, just have Damon like walk up and just like smack her ass real hard and be like, give it to me.
Yeah. Yeah, give me just a little bit to get the blood flowing. I can't even enjoy this shit without it.
Yeah. But anyways, we also have this scene to throw in some like violence and action to keep like some of the more casual dipshits invested. Though I mean, I can't blame them. The action so far is the only good thing I've been having about this show.
Yeah.
And I will credit where credit's due. It's kind of cool when he stabs a guy with a like into a root of a tree.
Oh, is that what ended up happening there? I
Yeah,
wasn't sure.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. He grabs the guy.
Which the guy like disarms Aemond and then he like then starts grappling him?
Yeah.
You have a sword in your hand, just slash him.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh yeah, he does. He does stab him into a root of a tree. Okay. I thought he might have stabbed him on his own sword or something, but yeah, he's still dangling there.
Yeah, propped up. But yeah, no, I mean it makes perfect sense.
And then we get a funny little quip from Negachin. Seems you've gotten better.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
But yeah, yeah, definitely. Once you disarm the guy, you got to grapple him a little bit.
Actually, this next scene might be my favorite scene. I kind of really like this scene.
Oh yeah, is it? Well, I mean, it's kind of dumb. Like first off, and I forgot to mention this in my episode going over the differences, but he talks about Bravos and the heat of Bravos. Bravos isn't a hot place. Like
It's not.
geographically speaking, it's further north than where they currently are. So in theory, it should actually be quite a bit cooler.
Yeah, actually, looking at the map, Bravos looks like it would be pretty cool.
Hmm.
Like it's
Yeah, but he also talks about them in a weird way, like he's been with them when he hasn't. If he's talking about the pirates he was with, they weren't Bravosi. They were Tyrosh, Lysini, and Mears. None of them were Bravosi.
well, they're all the same over on that side of the ocean.
You see, you can't say that, DJ. You can't, especially in Essos when, unlike Westeros, there's like tons of different cultures. Whereas Westeros, you got the First Man, the Ironborn, the Dornish, and the Andals. And the Andals control like fucking three-quarters of the continent.
But they're on the same continent, so they're kind of the same.
Ah, fine, fair enough. But I mean, yeah, Aegon is kind of just relaxing by himself until that random fuck. Well, I mean, it's the guy whose boots he kissed, like digs through his stuff and finds his crown, and just decides to like approach Aegon and be like, "Oh, look what I found." And luckily, Aegon reacts pretty quickly and just starts shanking the fuck out of him.
Yeah, yeah. I was proud of it.
Hmm. I mean, I do kind of like the ending line where he's just like, "You can call me your grace."
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know why I get a real kick out of Larry's like reaction to it. It's just like, come the fuck on.
yeah, yeah. Just so exasperated.
It's like this shit again. Though next we're back in King's Landing with Daemon giving his speech, and remember how he was, he said like, he was really gung ho about expanding the Iron Throne and whatnot. Though he's talking about going from 7 kingdoms, from 9 kingdoms to 12 kingdoms to get the gold cloaks all happy to keep working for no pay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty fancy,
I mean, it was a pretty good speech.
pretty
It would
fancy.
got me a little pumped up if I was in there.
You guys won't even have to fight in any of the wars. You're just protecting the capital, but you get all the good shit.
Yeah, that's a good deal. It's a good deal he's offering them.
Damn good deal. Would you take that deal?
Take that deal.
uh,
But
yeah.
yeah, nothing in particular to say about it.
Yeah, back with
Just the boys are
Cole.
pumped up.
Yeah, get the guys willing to keep working for IOUs. And we're back with Cole, and they realize, oh shit, the Toli army beat us to it. Which I get they were going through the rough, so that probably slowed them down. But I still don't buy them being slower than the entire army of the Tolis.
Yeah, it's hard to say. We don't see the Tolis side of it at all, so who knows what they were up to.
I mean, I guess presumably at that point the Tolis were just going across the roads without any issue.
Yeah,
Hmm. I mean, I still don't buy them abandoning all their mounts because, like, oh, there's some cattle traps here.
yeah. There's one field of the spikes.
Because
Abandon all horses.
presumably, if going through the bushes delayed them to a great extent, then they could have just gone through the trail they were going through anyways. Though I guess maybe there was some worry about the winter wolves maybe being further up to ambush
I think
them.
that's what it is like if we stay on this path, then they'll ambush us. So we should bushwhack it the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe now that we've come to that, it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah,
Right. Back to King's Landing again, though. Got a little interrogation going on.
yeah.
Which I don't know. The older I get, there's a part of me that doesn't care for like torturing someone to get information out of them. Just because from what
Oh
I,
yeah.
well, it's
Back
like,
in your youth, you were like really gung ho about torture.
well, it's more so like when I was younger and ignorant, it was just like, there's a very practical reason. You want to get the information, all that stuff. So you torture them,
Uh huh.
and then they tell you the truth. But I mean, from what I understand, it's actually not that effective to getting what you want.
Yeah, there's not really any incentive on the tortured to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
So, especially if you're going to immediately kill them.
So yeah, I don't know. I would have like I think maybe like I don't. It's not inaccurate. I can definitely see Damon putting some torture to people, especially in Westeros. Torture was super common and justified all the time. But I guess I'm kind of longing for something a bit more tactful, honeyed words and promises, kind of like that.
Yeah, and this scene also shows the importance of searching somebody before you torture them.
Yeah, I thought the same
If
thing.
if they
Like
did,
none of them
if they'd
checked.
stripped the dude, they would have found the coin.
None of them decided to like look in the boots for anything.
Well, I feel like if you're torturing someone, you probably strip them first, don't you? At least
Yeah,
down in their skivs.
yeah. I completely agree with you.
Yeah,
All right.
not here though.
Uh, Getting close to the end, though, we got one final scene with Gawain and Kristen just kind of chit chatting.
Yeah, and
And
we see how Kristen's really doomer pilled at this point.
yeah, he's just suicidal looking to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not offended by like Kristen in this series, really, except for maybe one or two moments here and there. But like, I just find myself not really caring about him.
Yeah, same.
Like, if, and this whole like kind of motivation of like, I can make my own choices here. I'm not a pawn in this like whole political system. Like I feel like there was none of it until like this season. There was no really hints of that.
Yeah, he was just pretty much loyal. He was pumped up on being Aegon or whichever is King's Guard or Hand. And then he like got to whichever castle and was like, I'm actually really depressed.
It was well,
Guys, I've been keeping it a secret this whole time. I've been struggling with depression.
well, yeah. I think you're talking about Harrenhal, but I guess if I remember correctly, this kind of started with Rook's Rest. once he saw like the destruction that a dragon's battle was capable of, he was just like, "Oh, fuck all this shit."
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's just I don't care for Kristen. I just don't. I honestly liked him better when like his whole motivation was just fuck Rhaenyra for not marrying me or running off with me. Like that was like honestly much better than this whole doomer depressed bullshit.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like the authors or the writers know really what to do with him. So they're just like, I don't know, let's make him suicidal. Fucking have him go kill himself.
I mean, I feel like a character doesn't have to be deep. Like I feel like simple characters can still be great.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
just make like I was actually kind of fine with him just being really bitter and hateful towards Rhaenyra because Rhaenyra like, kind of sort of pressured him into sex but didn't want to like be with him, just keep him as a side piece. Like I honestly think that was enough. I didn't need more. I didn't need this whole PTSD sad war aspect of him. I didn't need the whole like, oh, I'm a tool of the higher ups or whatnot. I don't need any of that.
Yeah, I'm with you. He could have just been a simple, unlikable dude. That was fine.
Hmm.
I would still probably be bitching about it for other reasons, but I think it still would have been better than this.
I mean, what's the saying? Hatred isn't the opposite of love. It's apathy or something along
Yeah,
those lines. Like,
something along those
I
lines.
just, that's the whole thing. I don't hate him. I don't like him. I just, meh. I don't care about him.
Yeah.
And also, there's a moment, and a lot of people have been making fun of the character for saying he's the greatest warrior when he's done nothing to show that.
Well, he beat Damon, remember? We just talked about that.
He beat Damon. He also got his shit stomped by Harwin Strong when in the books he kicked his ass. We also see him lose a practice duel to Aemond. Like, he's not really been portrayed as a particularly great warrior except for you don't know. Like he killed a boar.
Yeah, he saved Rhaenyra from a boar. That
But
dude's a hero.
yeah, they haven't really been showing off his ability. He's lost like every fight he's been in. Oh yeah, he beat Demon. Shut the fuck up, DJ.
I don't know why you want them to show you he's the greatest warrior when they keep saying it. So you should just believe them.
I mean, I feel like the next episode we'll get a little bit of something, but only time will tell.
Yeah. So next scene we have Damon informing Rhaenyra that they've minted some new coins.
Yeah. Darren is to be the next king, apparently.
I'm still in disbelief that they just let them keep the fucking dragon. That's crazy.
Well, like I said, they didn't let them keep the dragon.
They basically let them keep it.
They had it protected with shepherds and whatnot.
Yeah, they had shepherds, dude.
Listen, you take that army of 15,000 people and go home. We're gonna trust like these five decrepit old guys with sticks and maybe a couple of guards to keep the dragon under lock and key.
Allegedly, we don't even get them saying any of that.
That
We're just that like that's just the best faith interpretation you can have of the situation.
all right. But hey, now we're like going to be jumping around all sorts of scenes really fast because Kristen Cole is giving like a really sad speech.
Yeah,
Like
he's still.
he's trying to give his depression over to his men.
Yeah, he's like, you guys all want to die too, right?
Yeah, for the glorious glorious battle. Let's go.
Yeah, and then we have Helena discovering a little secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
Tunnel. Secret tunnel. But yeah, and they just get stuck in it. Like their incompetence knows no
Wait, no, we
bounds.
jump back to Kristen.
No,
We jump back to Kristen,
we
and
do,
then
we don't need to do this
we
whole
see
thing.
no, we see what's his face walking away.
Oh yeah, Gawain's just like fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, and then Damon discovers that everybody's dead somehow.
Well, he hasn't. I don't think he's discovered it yet. He's just like,
Oh
hey,
yeah, he's just walking in there,
well, yeah, where is it?
and
Like,
then we're back in the secret tunnel.
damn it. I know normally we go like kind of scene by scene by scene and all that stuff, but I think in this case we can handle them like all kind of in chunks, you know?
Okay, okay. I think we're done with Kristen for the most part.
Yeah, sad speech. Allison and
Set speech
Elena,
and what's his face leaves. Allison and Helena, they're trapped in a tunnel
completely
and they
incompetent.
drop the lantern.
Like, good God. And it's like, I think it's like, oh no, what will they do? Like, just go over there and, like, if you scream loud enough, I'm sure eventually someone will come in and hear you.
Yeah, but then they're in a little bit of a pickle. How do they explain why they were walking around in a secret tunnel?
I mean, if they aren't executed now, they're not going to be at this point.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
What are
what?
they going to do? Imprison them?
And what's the
They can put them in
alternative?
real prison.
What's the alternative? Starving?
You blindly fumbling your way out.
Oh yeah, brilliant, brilliant plan. But like, we also have Damon, like, going to the Gold Cloaks area, and I got a couple of issues with this. First off, where the fuck is everyone?
Yeah,
The Gold Cloaks presumably have like 1,000 or so guys, maybe more, who are working, and there's like nobody here in the barracks.
if they're fucking the police of a city of 1 million people, you'd hope they'd have a few thousand of them.
Well, I'm trying to think, like, what's the? I think it's like 2,000. I think that's how many there's supposed to be.
That doesn't seem like enough.
I mean, to be fair, the population of 1 million is kind of hotly contested in the fandom because it's really only stated by the show.
Mm, what are we watching?
You know what? You got me. Though
Yeah,
this is 150 years in the past, so presumably there'd be less people. Maybe
maybe.
maybe like 500,000 or 750,000.
Populations increasing over time is a fairly recent phenomenon.
Is it? Like, I mean, I know populations had like a big boon, but I thought like populations kind of always kind of consistently like trickled up because if you're trickling down, that's no bueno.
Maybe global populations, but I don't think that like the a nation would necessarily always have an increasing population.
I mean, not always, but that's kind of like the go-to. If you don't, then eventually like things are going to crumble. Like, I mean, Japan and China and everyone right now is like worried kind of about populations not being at replacement levels.
Well, yeah, they would generally have replacement levels. And I don't know if you remember history, but a lot of places did crumble.
But anyway, so yeah, I find it difficult to believe that there's like nobody just here. And again, Damon coming across this can be just like a convenience of thematic storytelling rather than like an actual issue. But there's nobody here except for these 9 dead guys. Surely there'd
Yeah, and
be more people here, and they're all like suited up and armored. So like, if they were attacked, I'd imagine they could take out like some of the guys attacking them. Like it
right,
doesn't.
they didn't kill anybody. And how many people would it take to raid the headquarters of the Gold Cloaks?
I mean, best case scenario. So like, there's 2,000 gold cloaks. So there's 9 guys here dead. So that would mean that the other 1,991 gold cloaks are out on patrol.
Well, or off duty.
Either or, they're not here, which
Yeah,
I think is crazy. So these 9 guys were probably in charge of keeping track of most of King's Landing. But like,
I
yeah,
guess so.
there should be more, and there should be signs of like an actual like fight rather than like a couple of blood splatters here and there and no bodies of like the attackers. Like these gold cloaks are shit if they didn't kill anyone.
And what's up with setting them up as like a parody of The Last Supper?
Is that what you think it is?
I mean, it can't be what it is because
Yeah.
obviously The Last Supper didn't happen in this universe. But I mean, that's what it's reminiscent of.
You're not wrong, but I mean, like the Last Supper, like Jesus had more than 9 disciples or 8 disciples, right?
Uh, I have to pee too bad to think about it.
Well, I think he had 12 disciples. 12 sounds like a good number.
Um,
But I mean,
I, I'm just saying, just like stylistically, it's very reminiscent.
Maybe, but I mean, I think it's obviously like they're putting on a show, so that way when Damon walks in, the camera gets a cool shot with a feast for traitors in the background.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, and that's the end of this episode, and just I gotta say, it was with this episode where I felt like it clicked, which is kind of funny because I think more happens in this episode than previous ones. But despite season three, for all intents and purposes, technically only being 6 episodes, it still kind of feels like we're going at a snail's pace with this war.
Oh yeah, we're crawling.
And like we only have one more season after this.
Yeah. I guess the big battle this season's gonna be to like over the town that
Dumbleton.
Ormond took, Tumbleton. That's gonna be the big battle for the finale.
Yeah, which I mean, I think the issue is that they're cutting like, and I understand why they would cut these things because they're expensive, but like they're cutting the other conflicts and battles that are taking place. I said it before, the Riverlands had several battles between them and the Lannisters. Ormond Hightower had to face a couple of different armies in the Reach. The Reach was not wholly united. um, and other things. Like, for example, the Greyjoys were mentioned like previously for one scene in season two, but at this point in the war, they were on Team Black and they were raiding the Western and Reach. So, like, I think it's like the fact that these other aspects of the war are removed and thus being replaced with much smaller, just in person chit chatting, it just makes this conflict just seem so tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, the only real fighting going on was a couple bridges got burned.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not saying like the show, hey, needs to depict every single one of these fights and whatnot, but I think mentioning them or hinting at them or something along those lines that there is more going on than what we are just seeing, I think that could do a whole lot of good for the show, especially if it takes away scenes from Alicent.
Yeah. Yeah, God, please.
Like you had this massive war going on, and to help fill in the gaps, you decide to add useless scenes that can be cut.
That's great writing.
Yeah.
That's modern writing right there.
But anyways, I think that's pretty much it. Is there anything else you want to say about the show?
I think we're good. I think I've said my piece.
Alrighty, well, to everyone who made it this far, thank you very much. And I'm kind of just done. I I'm just getting so done. Like I'm honestly questioning if I'm going to watch the next season. This is not fun. This is torture. Maybe it's because the fucking house that I'm in is hot as hell and I had to turn my AC off so that way my microphone didn't pick it up. But I'm getting very grumpy and angry. So it's just over. I'll see you all next week. But goodbye.
Or happy fun times.